Here we go at San Diego Comic-Con. We're not on a floor. We're not in a hotel suite. It's almost like a boardroom.
I feel very important for the first time during Comic-Con.
Well, I feel like we should be doing like a merger and acquisition here or something like that.
Yes, we are negotiating for the rights of the Impractical Jokers here.
Picking this up, is that bad?
Yeah, usually a fan doesn't work on the radio, especially to two countries, but that's totally fine. We're not very professional. We're here with the Impractical Jokers. Your stuff is everywhere. You're all over buses. You have a big block party tomorrow here at San Diego, which is going to be mobbed. You're currently in the middle of season 5. Season 6 just got announced. Yep. What more can you guys do?
James?
We could Everest. None of us have done yet. I mean, that's the ultimate Kilimanjaro. But we were hoping one day to do a movie, and that would be wild. We tour all the time. We're touring internationally. That's gonna be fun.
We saw some stuff online. I don't know how it came up. It was one of those suggested YouTube things on the side. The European crowds are going nuts for you guys.
It's crazy over there. Yeah, we've been fortunate enough to be playing over in the UK, and there's just been such a great response from all the fans over there.
You're like a band now when they say, "No, we're big in Japan," when no one in America's heard of them.
Yeah, we went over there recently, and I slept with so many men and women.
We're like the Fat Beatles. We're the Feetles.
So let's talk about season 5 before we get into season 6 and the block party and everything else here. What left is there for you to do? Like, what stunts do you have on paper that are like, we're still trying to push this through, legal's not letting it happen, or we've run out of ideas?
That's actually the reason why we don't do most stuff now at this point. It's like, well, legal will never let that happen. Insurance will never cover that. But we always just... After season 1 wrapped, this is true, we were like, oh my God, what are we going to do now, right? We were sitting around.
Season 1 after 16 episodes, and now we're at 130, so we can find a way. We just lock ourselves in a room with the rest of the people that we work with.
Yeah, that's literally how we start the season. We do there's a 5-week period where we just think about creative and just crank out a bunch of ideas.
All right, we do have an idea that we've always wanted to do that we probably can never do. Joe was just telling the story earlier. We want to go to a wedding. As a punishment, the loser has to go to a wedding. It's a stranger's wedding.
That's it right there. It's a punishment to go.
You got it.
Yeah.
You know the point where the priest is like,
does anyone here object to this wedding?
Speaking out for every holy peace. We want the loser to have to get up, interrupt the wedding, object, go into detail as to why he objects, realize he's at the wrong wedding, apologize, and leave.
Yeah, so we thought that is just a little too mean for the bride. We don't want to really ruin someone's day.
Not at all.
No, it's all right.
It's the entertainment industry. There's no boundaries as far as people getting upset.
That's what we've been saying, but the network disagrees.
Right. Well, what if
marriage is a farce, though?
What if you took it a step further and you get a special guest, female guest, to pull off the prank where she objects and she's holding a kid?
Now you're talking some next level stuff, and I like what you're doing. Yeah. You want to come sit in a room with us for 5 weeks?
Yes, please.
I'd say, what do you do in January to June?
Well, on that point, do you guys get a lot of ideas? Do you get suggestions from fans of the show? You've ever tried to develop?
People give us their suggestions, whether we want to hear them or not, which is the name of the game. They see us on the street like, you should do this, you should do that.
You're like in Weird Al status, where everyone's trying to pitch a parody to him, and he's like, oh yeah, maybe we'll get to that. Well, I don't know.
I literally on like Facebook and stuff, I'll get a message like, I have the perfect punishment for Sal. Make him hold a cat on a Ferris wheel. And I'm like, okay, like I'm looking for more, and that was it.
That's a good one. Write it down.
Yeah. So it's interesting because people really do get to know us and know what we hate. So it's kind of fun to hear from people, but a lot of ideas. Like I said, we've thought about a lot of different things. So.
All right, fan response. What has been some of the worst fan response that you got? Because I'm sure everyone's like, look at Europe. They came out like droves, like you are, sort of Beatle-esque.
Feetles, please.
Feetles, and
let's just stop that. We shouldn't compare ourselves to the Beatles.
No, the Feetles.
Yeah, but that's still a reference to the Beatles. We're nowhere near as popular as the Beatles.
Oh, you're talking about the band?
Yeah.
Oh, we're the Funkies then.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that means the cute one has to die. So you figure out which one of that is.
We're more like faux aces.
So what are some of the worst feedback that you've gotten from fans that probably is unwarranted because it's the internet? No matter how good you do something, there's always 100 people out there saying right at the first comment saying you guys are awful. This is a hacky stunt.
I mean, I some constructive criticism I got is you're a real piece of shit.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Signed, Mom.
No, I mean, what's kind of amazing is that maybe it's a combination of I don't look that much, but usually people have nice things. I think it's like 90-something% I see positive comments. And the ones that I
Selective
don't,
reading.
yeah, the ones I don't like. If something's really constructive, I actually prefer it. I don't mind seeing criticism at all. You know, we all know what trolls do, but we don't get too many of those.
No, I think we got. I remember the one time we were all surprised by something we didn't see coming, because you think about like the jokes you make, and we're like, oh, we can't say the show, whatever. But we actually filmed at a puppy store once. And all these like puppy mill hatred groups like came out and were like, what are you doing? You're endorsing that. We're like, no, we just went to a puppy store. Like, we're not being like, it's right. You know, it's so weird that we got associated with that. And there's a lot of blowback on that. That's one thing that I remind. But that wasn't like even our fault. We just went to a puppy store to
That
work.
means you're
We
doing.
did sacrifice that puppy.
That's right. Yeah.
That means you're doing it right.
Yeah, and same thing. We filmed in IKEA in season 1, and all the anti-Swedes came out. Like, how dare you?
Anti-Swede movement.
Huge anti-Swede protests.
That's funny because we're friends with Bill Burr, and he was telling a story on Opie and Jimmy about going over and touring through Europe and playing Norway and Sweden. Didn't realize that they hate each other with a passion. So whenever the set was going a little rough, or if they weren't reacting to the material like he felt they should, he'd start calling them, you know, Swedes, or go shop at 7-Eleven, like anything to get the Norwegians
Really?
pissed off. And then he did it on the other side in Sweden. If they weren't playing along, he'd start going into Norway stuff. And
You know what that fight's about between Norway and Sweden?
no.
It's natural resources. It's oil. Oil.
It's always oil.
It's rich in it. Sweden isn't, and they're jealous.
See, I thought it was the rights to Santa.
Water's good.
I mean, up there, it's just above the Arctic Circle. Who cares?
No one.
I thought it was over red vines, to be honest with you. So.
It's Red Vines versus Twizzler. It's a whole different community over there.
Have you ever thought about maybe bringing an episode home where you're trying to do stuff to your family? Like lighter heart pranks, but do a family
on
special?
We've had our family on the show a bunch. We use them to punish, especially Sal's family. We've used Sal's family against him multiple times. And at this point, they're calling us to see how we can mess up.
I had to stop.
He was
that.
an asshole at Thanksgiving. We have an idea.
Yeah,
Keep
I
them on
had
the
to
road for
shut it
6 more
down.
weeks.
I had to shut it down because they used my mom, my dad, my sister, my niece. It just doesn't stop, and it's not fair because like. You know, it crosses a line. Like I don't want to.
It's also odd that your whole family is like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll torture my brother. Or I'll torture my
I know.
son.
We tried to get like Murray's family, and they always turn us down.
We have one idea we haven't done yet, where we want, if there's 2 losers of an episode, we want to build a conveyor belt in like a junkyard. You know, like Superman 3, when he turns evil and he fights himself in the junkyard?
Right.
Same thing. We want to have a junkyard, like 2 conveyor belts, and on each conveyor belt is like Sal's niece and Joe's niece. And for every question the uncles get wrong, their nieces move closer and closer to some kind of vat that they fall into.
Again, insurance is giving us a real problem about that one.
Well, here's how you get around it. You just say it's a takeoff of the OK Go video. Yeah. Where they're doing all the
Nice,
stunts on the treadmills right there.
Those guys blow my mind on the regular.
Right.
Oh, my
They did that.
The new one, the
I hate
one
to
they
say
just-
it's Mousetrap, but Mousetrap's been on that invention where one thing triggers another,
Yeah,
triggers
yeah.
another. Their whole music video, they have 2. It was this one song had 2 different videos, and one was that contraption. I'm forgetting the name of the machine, and probably a bunch of nerds out there yelling at me because I should know it. But they did the whole video in one shot. They started, let it go. It was in a warehouse,
Yeah.
and you follow the whole video while the song's playing, and it goes through each compartment of there, and to the very end, timed out perfectly. when
The
song was
latest
done.
one blew my balls off when they did the zero gravity. Did you see that one?
Oh, yes.
They did a zero gravity. They did the whole thing in zero gravity, one shot, and they were like literally like popping like balloons in zero gravity that were filled with paint. It was unbelievable. You should Google it.
It was amazing. I masturbated to that video.
In zero gravity.
Oh, never mind.
But see, that's the great thing when they can figure out, like, well, people may not know us for our music, and if you ask a lot of people, they don't really know who OK Go is. But you said, you know the treadmill video,
Don't know
you
it.
know that, and they're like, oh my God, yes, because it's so huge on YouTube, and that's the way to do things now. Where I want to do this, but maybe I should do these other things
It's a
on the
different way
side
to pull
just to
in an
get
audience.
this going.
Yeah. It pulls in an audience in a different way.
Christmas special.
Thank you. Yes, it was
right.
special. It was
Very
very
much.
special. Yeah, it was my daughter's first Christmas.
As far as pranks, did you ever do more of a holiday themed show?
Have we done a Christmas? We haven't done it because we feel like if it airs any other time but Christmas, it'd be weird.
Well, they should have been there for the first time. Now that you're watching it in reruns, and you know,
right.
yeah, it's your own fault.
But we do tour. The guys and I do about 80 plus dates a year touring with a live show. It's like 4 of us on stage with mics. It's like our version of stand up. And every year, it's an annual thing. We do a Christmas spectacular. Started last year. We're doing it again this year, all throughout December. Multiple dates, and it's like we bring on 3 or 4 other comics. It's like a mini festival, and it's like Christmas themed and it's out of control. We did it last year. We had snow machines. We had like a 100-piece choir. Santa's running around the stands. It was really cool.
So why not just film it if you're doing it already? It seems it's a no-brainer.
Well, that's not the show. This is just our live show. Right. Yeah.
When that first season came out, and we sort of knew with True TV flipping over to becoming True TV, and you're like, this is great, but like Jackass and some other things, like how long can they go? Not just with stories and ideas, but sometimes the physical toll it'll take on somebody's body. But then each season you watch, it's like these guys keep finding new and better things to go. And it's like you'd think they'd be either tired of it by now, or it's just like, I think we've taken this as far as we can, and you guys just keep, in a way, reinventing yourself every season.
That's something we said from the beginning, right? We said we'll stop doing this when we literally, we're our own worst critics, we really are. And we'll say when we stop having fun or finding it funny, we'll stop doing it. And we've always challenged ourselves to come up with new games and new things. So if you look season to season, we've done like different things to try to keep it fresh.
Yes.
That is very nice of you to say, though. That's a very high compliment.
You just got season 6 announced, and you were in the middle of season 5, by the way, True TV Thursdays at 10 p.m. For what you're doing and the prep time it takes to get everybody on board, and I don't know if I don't want to say script it, but like storyboard it, plan it out.
Scripted, yeah. Okay. Everything's heavily thought out that we do.
Right. So to get all that done and to keep it fresh and keep it energetic, and then season after season, going into season 6 is an amazing feat. I mean, I hope you guys take time to reflect on it and go, wow, who would have thought we would have got here at this point?
Every day.
Yeah,
really.
It's so rare in TV. I used to work in TV for many, many years, like in TV development, and to get a show to go to a pilot is incredible odds against you. Right. To get a series is exponentially more difficult, but then to get to go 2 seasons or 3 seasons is insanely impossible. The odds are so stacked against you. So it is. It's mind blowing and humbling to us that we're still doing it. The best moment for me was the 100th episode last year when we got up to the top of the tightrope, and I was scared to be up that high. But then I looked out and I saw the fans and saw the guys cheering for me, and it was like, I can't believe what we get to do for a living. This is crazy.
When you're not taping this stuff, what's your downtime like?
It's odd because we're like friends. So if we want to hang out with our friends, when we leave work, we go to the people we work with. So literally, there's this one time we were in, when Batman vs. Superman came out, we were on the road touring, and we literally left the stage, had the car waiting for us, and the van took us right to the movie theater, and we all went to see like a 10:30 show on Thursday night of Batman vs. Superman. Yeah. So like, it's literally, we hang out with our friends. We see each other so much, right?
Yeah.
So it's movies, TV, Netflix stuff, that kind of stuff?
It's the most basic stuff.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like relaxing stuff. There's nothing crazy. Like even when we tour, like a lot of times we get to do meet and greets after. I meet the people that come, and they're always like, "What's going on backstage? What are you guys doing tonight after the show?" And we're like, "We are going directly to the hotel to watch a movie and go to sleep."
That whole lore of it's more fun backstage. And like, because the movies portrayed, there's hot girls and there's great food and there's
that is not us.
One rock star is doing blow with another rock star. It's so
okay. I'll tell you right now. There's a crew and 4 of us staring at our phones.
Although I do blow.
All right,
kidding. You're kidding.
One of my favorite backstage stories was years ago. NoFX. Got to go see them at the BB King's in Manhattan.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So we go backstage because we just did interviews with them at SiriusXM, and I was like, all right, we'll get a photo.
We apologize for that ringtone that just went off. That was someone that's on our team that they're clearly just got a message that couldn't wait.
Next time, get it on mic. So we get backstage, and right as they're finishing their last song, we're told, they're not doing photos. And we're like, well, we get the photo. No, they have a car waiting outside. They were going to an S&M club in downtown in the Village. So as soon as they walked off, they threw everything down, bypassed everybody there, got in the car, and they went to this torture club.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow, they didn't even go back and shower? Is that part of the sadistic?
That's the whole thing. Just right off stage into those vans that they had and went downtown.
That's crazy. Yeah, we had a good night that night, though.
Before we go to the block party, what do we expect here? Because this looks huge.
Yeah, it's a big event, actually, at Petco Park from 3 to 8:30, right, on Saturday.
It's going to be thousands of fans. We're going to be there, karaoke, DJ playing. They're setting up a tightrope so fans can actually try to walk the tightrope like we did.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. They're actually doing some stunts inspired from the show. So there's going to be like sumo wrestling because I had to wrestle like a sumo.
The mechanical bull.
Mechanical bull and stuff. So it's going to be like a fun. We actually tried to bring a little bit of New York, like a New York street fair, to San Diego.
Sausage
so that's what we did. Yeah, there's going to be some food trucks, stuff like that. So
we will have certain plants in the crowd, like passing out Molly on the sly.
Yes,
and Beyonce will be there.
Yes, don't miss Beyonce.
If I have to do it, just because I know how this goes, That was a joke.
I was going to say, look for somebody carrying the package of red vines.
Yeah.
He's referring to Beyonce being the joke, but everything else is true.
All right, well, I stand corrected. Guys, thank you so much. We look forward to the block party. And, whenever you're in New York, it's actually more difficult to get you guys when you're home because you guys are always doing something. But it's glad you guys made the time to talk to us.
Thank you, guys. We would love to link up.
Yeah, come when you're back in New York City, come up to the studios, come hang, and we'll have a good time.
That's great. Thank you so much.
We'll see you at the block party.
All right, great.